We still have to talk about our Patreon.
How do you go to that, Ian?
Patreon.com/CU Podcast. You go, you'll get the, you pay some money depending on the tier you like, the one you like to see. You'll get the full video podcast. You get hangouts once a month. You get writing almost weekly from me. I'll have one up today or tomorrow. You can be in part of the Pin Club.
And you can vote on
bonus topics or bonus segments, bonus segments, and you can vote in these topics.
All right. In second place, thoughts on VR and the new PSVR 2 price tag, 18%. My voice is going after that crypto segment. First place, video game mistakes, video game collecting mistakes we have made. We've made a lot of video game mistakes, but video game collecting mistakes we have made in our life.
I would like you to start first.
I got a few. I'll start with one.
Okay.
This happened recently, so I have visuals. So I found this at the swap meet way back. It's not easy to find. There's going to be a run on this potentially for me talking about this. This is the Sega Saturn Virtual On. We love Virtual On. We love our mech stuff. The Netlink edition. I believe I saw that this was only included in a special, or I think later Netlink modem Sega Saturn box. It was bundled in.
Yeah, a pack with the modem.
Along with the racing game, not Daytona, the rally game. Rally Championship. There's a Netlink edition of that as well that I think were only included. So there's not a lot of these out there. Now they're going to be worth more money, but whatever. So when I bought this, Ian, it had a disc in it, and it had a manual, an oversized manual. Mm-hmm. Had a black and white manual that it's the same as the regular manual, but it's black and white. So I said to myself, oh, this is a special manual for this. And it had a disc. So I thought, okay, this is just the Netlink version. I had this for like 10, 12 years. I didn't realize till last week that, oh boy, I was wrong. This had its own disc, not this one. And it had its own manual, full size, that says Netlink, and it has the Netlink symbol on it. So for 12 years, I had this in my collection. I liked it because I think it was cool. And I didn't realize that I was wrong on this. Totally wrong. So this, Ian, was probably, you told me that being that this is black and white, this might have been part of a pack-in with the system.
I can't remember. I've seen them before, but I can't remember how you would have gotten that.
But the fact that it's black and white, it wasn't the one you buy as a game standalone.
Sure,
because that'd be color. So I had to go out and buy. Now it's going to be a run-up. I found a disc, and I found a manual for it that are hopefully going to arrive soon, that they're going to see us and stop the mail. But anyway, so that was my mistake, that I took for granted I knew better without researching it, that, hey, the black and white isn't Netlink. There's actually a Netlink version of this shit, and the disc is a regular one. So this is probably still worth something, but I don't know what this came from. Someone's going to tell me, some Saturn collector will say what the black and white manual is from.
I don't have any crazy mistakes like that. However, I do have mistakes I've made while collecting games,
crazy
going
mistake.
Out.
That's a crazy
Well, not a crazy mistake, but not something like buying something wrong or anything like that.
Sure.
I think my biggest mistake in collecting was not buying a sealed Turbo Duo for $150 in 2000 when I had the chance.
Where was it?
It was in Toronto. I also did not buy a $200 complete in box. I don't think they were ever truly sealed. Maybe they were. I can't recall. Neo Geo Gold System.
Neo Geo Gold System. I mean the digital one from 10 years ago?
No. They used to put on the box. They used to say gold. I think it meant it came with like a.
You're talking about AES.
Yeah, AES.
Okay.
Didn't buy that for $200.
Where was that being sold at?
Also Toronto.
Was it the same store?
Same store. I constantly think back to this store and regret everything I did not buy. And it wasn't because I didn't have money. I was 17. I was working. I had no bills. I was working 3-4 days a week, and I had money saved up because I couldn't spend it on I couldn't spend the money fast enough. I was just a kid with money and nothing to do. But we went up there to see it was Rage Against the Machine, Gangstar, and At the Drive-In show in Toronto, and we went shopping beforehand, and I didn't want to walk back to the car and put stuff in the car, so I didn't do it.
In your defense, And you say like
2000 is different than now, but even then I knew
a box Neo Geo was still probably worth $400. I'm guessing something like that.
$400-500. This place was clearly a place that
a U.S. one too, not a Japanese one.
Yeah, a U.S. one. This was a place that clearly had a lot of like overstock, and they were getting rid of it at crazy prices. I bought a bunch of sealed Nintendo games there. That was one of the few things I did buy. But yeah, it was a crazy place, and I always go back. Even in 2000, a sealed Turbo Duo and a sealed an unopened Neo Geo were worth more than what they were selling. Keep in mind that this was also Canadian, and our exchange rate at the time was like 1.42.
Okay, so you're saying what it cost like $150? Oh, gee. Okay, that makes
the Neo
really
Geo
good.
would have cost me like $150 in the Turbo. Like I said, you hear these misses today and you go, oh shit. But then you think back to 2000 and then you still go, oh shit, because the prices. Like,
so I don't know what a US.
I bought Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 sealed for $10.
From where?
The same store.
This magical store.
It was called Video Game Connections. It was in the basement of the Eaton Center.
Because Chip and Dale 2 was still a hard to find game for collectors early on back then.
Same with DuckTales 2, which I got for $12.
That was probably, in the box was probably $120 back then, so like $100. It wasn't like worth nothing. Right. It wasn't worth $1,000, but it wasn't worth nothing.
And the thing is like the price. I had been to that store once before with my parents.
This is what you passed on, Ian, right here. The gold system. I found it.
Yeah.
It's at, with 5 days left with 6 bigs, $2,000. It's probably gonna end up at like $2,500 or $3,000.
Yeah, it's nuts. I had gone to that store once with my parents before when we were up in Toronto and picked up some things, and I liked it, and the prices were still the same. And they never said they were closing. Like there was never a clearance sign, but I feel like that had to have been what they were doing, because the next time I went back 2 years later, they were gone.
Because they were giving away stuff.
Or a year later, because I was like, because I remember, I knew it was a mistake then, because I remember saying to myself, I'm bringing a lot of money and I'm going back to that goddamn store.
Oh no!
And it was gone.
Oh no, Ian.
Yeah.
I don't have any. The only equivalent I have for that was for Star Wars toys. There was a place in New Jersey in Seawarren where it was only open on Fridays. They did flea markets where all their Star Wars stuff in like the mid '90s was super cheap. I think I told you I got a
you've told me
Millennium Falcon for $10.
Yeah.
I mean, back then the stuff wasn't worth what it's worth now.
Right.
But it was not worth. It was probably worth like $80 or $100.
That's my whole point. Like, obviously, we're not talking today's collector prices, but these were still prices that were insane at the time.
There was Size Noodles in the Rebo band in the package unopened for $10. I begged my father to take me back there. I didn't have a car. I was like 15 years old. And he finally went back there 2 months later. And of course, it was gone because someone bought it. I had Death Star in the box for like $15. I wish I kept that. It's my favorite thing. Damn it. I found the swap meet almost complete one time. I should have bought it. Anyway.
Way more than that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. So the point is this, is that that's bad. Really bad. My $20 one is similar. And this is on film. This is an earlier Game Chasers episode. This was the weekend we premiered the AVGN NWC episode in 2011.
This is on a Game Chasers episode?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to, it was Pink Gorilla. OG Pink Gorilla, I believe.
When it was still Pink Godzilla?
I don't know if it was Pink Godzilla, but I think it was Pink Gorilla. None of those people are there anymore, obviously.
Sure.
And complete, this big boy, the TurboGrafx CD you can't see in the box, 100% complete. I mean, all the styrofoam, everything. One thing I was never used, $200. I had no way of getting, how am I going to get that home?
Yep.
They could have shipped it. Shipping would have cost, I think they said about $60. This is what I said to myself. That wasn't worth that much back then. That was probably worth about $200 back then, believe it or not.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Sure.
Because no one knew about it 11 years ago.
Right.
It would probably would have cost you $200 to $250 to get that monstrosity, which is now, what, $1,000 probably?
Easy.
So I passed on it. I was like, I don't want to pay $250 for that. I'm like, it's not really, I said to myself, it's not really a deal. When I should have realized, when the fuck am I going to find this like this? That's not complete. That's missing.
There are certain things that you buy.
Yes, just like
they don't have to be a deal. You buy them because you're never going to fucking see them again.
So I forgot when I bought this again, but that was not complete. Remember, I didn't have the fucking karaoke CD?
Yes, I remember.
I had to spend.
I was going to say you bought the karaoke CD afterwards. Right?
Yeah, I got fleeced on it, and he knew he was fleecing me. I didn't have a choice. I said, I haven't seen this thing, and like, it's never on eBay.
You got to not act excited.
I wasn't excited. I said, well, I need this. Can I get a deal on this? And the guy said, well, no. Because like he knows that the person I want needs it. Like, I'm not getting it to fucking sing. I'm getting to put it. and that doesn't have the top cardboard that housed the AC adapter. So that's not complete because it's missing the cardboard shit on the top or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? Like it's not 100%. I was fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And being a TurboGrafx fanboy, I should not have done that. I'm so sorry. What does a TurboGrafx CD go in the box complete? I'm gonna look that up. At least $1,000. Man, we fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, we both made some mistakes in our life.
Did you open that sealed Chippendales and play it?
Oh, yeah.
All of those. What happened to the box? Did you eventually sell it complete?
Yeah, I believe so.
Can Trey sell me that Neo Geo box?
No.
He's still not going to sell it?
No.
I have a Neo Geo AS. I can compare it with.
He doesn't want to ever sell those boxes.
No!
He loves them. Loves them boxes.
Well, that box is probably worth like $800 or so.
Yeah, it's probably not cheap right now.
You can get a new TurboGrafx 3000. Excuse me, Turbo Duo 3000. New open box. It says new open box. I might have opened it once because mine was open just to look at it.
Right.
Basically, but it's basically brand new. When I got from
open to check, but
I got it from God, I can't think of his name. Our old pal that used to collect, the old Navy guy. Why can't I think of his name? I'm blanking. Nintendo Dan.
Oh, Nintendo Dan. Sure.
I got my Neo Geo for Nintendo Dan.
Yeah. There's two Navy guys that I think of, and but okay, yeah.
Nintendo Dan sold everything.
Yeah,
I bought thousands of dollars of stuff off him over a couple of times, including all the Sega Saturn, Sega CD stuff, and TurboGrafx stuff. So $3,000, you can buy it now for a new console with an extra Duo pad on it. And I don't know if that's a bad deal. If this other one's at $2,000 opened with 6 days left. And then a TurboGrafx CD in the box. I don't know if the last one's been sold. It's not like there's a ton of them in the box. Let me just do completed listings here. See what comes up. Because they go for $500. Okay, yeah, one went for $2,500 or best offer. So it went for below that, but I won't say less than $2,000. Holy shit. A complete TurboGrafx 16 went for $900 in the box. Those used to be $150.
Yep.
Like maybe like 6 years ago. No one was into it at all. No one cared. I sold my
6 years ago. I don't know about that, but maybe like 8.
I had mine for sale for about $180. My extra complete in box one at SoCal for like $180, $200, and people trying to talk me down from that. I remember that.
Well, people are always going to be people.
But I mean, it wasn't selling at $200.
Sure.
So that was, we'll say 6 years ago. About. Wow. That's insane. The minis are going, by the way, the mini Konami ones are going for $250. People are still wanting to get those. Well, those are some of our mistakes. There's more, but those are big ones. Those are big ones. That fucking hurts, Ian. When you told me that hurt.
Yeah, it sucks.
For that Neo Geo for $150 after exchange.
Yep.
That's bad, Ian. That's a where is it?
Wow.